So let's talk about mental health in the space. We both
Recently.
had
That's
losses
yeah.
this
Yeah, yeah.
this past year. You
Yep.
lost your father. I lost my grandmother.
Yep.
They were traumatic. I know that you were. What I always say to you is like, look at the timing. How amazing the timing was that
Mm,
you were living in
yes.
Portland. You divorced your
Well,
wife.
San Francisco.
Oh, sorry, San Francisco. You moved back to New Jersey to
Yep.
be closer to your family for your own personal mental health.
Yeah, for my own. Yes.
And then your father got sick.
Yeah.
And you essentially took care of him for months while he
Yep.
went through chemo.
Almost a
And
year. Yeah.
and the chemo basically killed him.
Yeah. Yeah. So first thing I'll say is because of NFTs and because of the success it did have in NFTs, and it saving my own life in terms of giving me a platform to grow, I later become successful enough to run my own business and be there for my dad and take the time off that I need without having to ask a boss or any of that stuff, all because of NFTs. And he got to experience it with me. One of the things I miss is he would send me like texts about NFT and blockchain stuff, like stuff that I would probably most of the time already know about. But I love that he was so interested and invested in like my world, you know. And he was young; he was 70. He wasn't, and he was, he ran his own business, side business for 70 years, and was a retired firefighter, and you know, was a EMT instructor. The dude hustled his entire life. Um, and it was my rock, was my go-to for personal and business advice. And now that's not there, and that's one of the hardest things. But I've been able to work on my mental health so much over the last 2 years, 3 years, really. Beginning with therapy. Now I have two therapists. I have a traditional family therapist and a sex therapist or a somatic sex educator. Those two, along with I also take Lexapro as an antidepressant. Um, so all of that stuff, along with finding myself and this renewed sense of confidence, personal confidence, I walk through the world now and I feel great. I'm the biggest and the fattest I've ever been in my entire life, and yet I'm the most confident I have ever been in my entire life.
You're still in good shape. We do have to say,
Hey,
it's a good
I
shape.
have a good face. I'm not,
You have a good face, but I'm saying like also like I have friends that are your size also,
yeah.
but it's kind of like, all blubbery. You're solid. And
I am
that's
solid. Yeah, I do have big bones and big muscles.
right,
Yes.
right, right,
Um,
right. Yeah.
but
But I,
it's
I totally agree with you
yeah,
that, I think part of it, I think obviously the therapy and the Lexapro and everything like that. And
yep.
I've been through some challenges over these last couple of years. I think we've all been through challenges with the pandemic and everything,
Oh,
right?
I used to joke with the pandemic. People were like, "How are you doing?" And I'm like, "How am I doing? This is normal everyday life for me. Like the anxiety levels that you all are feeling, you're in my world now.
Right.
How am I doing? I feel good. I feel okay.
Yeah.
Welcome to my world."
Right, right. Everyone is on the same page
Right.
now. Exactly. I've heard that from other friends of mine also
Yeah.
who also suffer from very, very significant depression. And they said that when the pandemic happened, they were actually relieved that everyone was kind of feeling the same amount of anxiety that they did because they used to walk around and have complete anxiety and not understand why everyone else didn't feel that way. So
I
it
thought I
was
was broken for most of my life.
amazing.
I not that I would, I grew up Catholic, but not that I would pray. Energy and the universe, and we can impact our own lives through positive action. And that begins with positive thought. It's the actions you take, and it all starts with putting yourself in a position to do that. When the pandemic hit, for the first time in my life, there were people that understood what crippling anxiety is like, right? And they get it now.
Yeah.
And they're like, "This is what you felt for 35 years." I'm like, "Yeah, motherfucker. That's what I felt for 35 years. I didn't know.
Right.
I thought I was broken for most of it." I'm like, "Why fix me? Somebody, how come I can't walk into a supermarket and enjoy the shopping experience. I got to sit there and start sweating because there's too many people around. Or or social situations, walking into a bar that I don't know where anybody's at, and try to now I walk in, I feel great now. I
Right.
walk in and I feel like I own places.
Right.
But
Right.
that's just my mindset has shifted.
Yes.
It's taken me a long time to get here.
Yes. Yes.
You know,
I totally, I don't really reveal that much about myself, but I went through a very traumatic experience, and I've come out of it, much more empowered to feel good about myself, the
yeah,
size that I'm at, being able to speak to anybody and talk to anybody, regardless of the fact, it's so funny. We talk about this all the time, that Myers-Briggs test, right?
yes,
So I actually test introverted.
me too.
Right. But we're very extroverted people when you get us
Well,
into a
that's
social
learned. Yeah,
situation. But
yeah,
that's the idea of the introvert is it's not what everybody thinks. It's not that person that's sitting in the corner and can't talk to
right.
anybody. It's that person that's actually, while they're talking to you, they do have social anxiety. They are
Yeah.
concerned about what's going on around them, but they're still able to interact with you professionally.
The way I've come to understand it for myself is it's how and this is maybe oversimplification, but I think it sort of explains it. Introverts tend to like energy is sucked out of them the more that they're around people.
Right.
So I have to step away
Yeah.
to regain energy. So like an NFT NYC, even though I live 5 miles away, I will have a hotel room with a suite so that I can go into that and very close to the venues so that when I'm feeling drained, I go to the suite by myself for an hour,
Right.
recharge,
Right.
re-energize, and then come back. Sometimes it's taking a nap.
Yeah.
But these are the things I've learned about what being an introvert means for me. So yeah, we are extroverted in appearance.
That same kind of element passes on to depression as well, right? We are
Yeah.
actually happy and funny and laughing people,
Yeah.
but internally, we have that depression that's going on in our head.
Yeah, like I use visuals too sometimes. So most of my life I felt like I was in clouds, like that depression's like over my face. Now the clouds have lifted. They're still there.
Right.
I could see. And when it's dropping, I can mostly feel
Yeah.
its effects and begin to take care of myself sooner. Although recently, because I've stepped away from uh being out there in the world because I've been feeling depressed and I didn't realize it until, and this is why I have therapists, right? They can reflect things back to you and make you see them. And so I realized, I just woke up one day after having a long conversation with my therapist and I was like, oh fuck, you are depressed. Okay, now that I know that, what are the small things I can do? Because if I take too much on, it's not going to fix it. But if I make small incremental changes for me, this is what works for me.
Yeah.
I'll begin to cycle out of the depression.
Right.
And so I've made those steps. And what I like to do is I like to treat myself to things that bring me joy for self-care. Like I like manicures and pedicures, right? They make me feel good.
Yes.
Massages
Yeah.
make me feel good. Going to the chiropractor makes me feel good, right? So doing little things like that will help kickstart now that I've realized that I was depressed. But for it takes a while for me to
Yeah.
recognize it.